Hello and welcome back to Dover Radio Gamescast. As always, I'm your host Ryan, and I'm joined today by my lovely cohort of co-hosts, Brett,
Hello.
Wyatt,
Hello.
and the mysterious, ever-elusive Alex.
Hello.
Alright. This
Table
is
and everything.
This is the Judgment Day podcast. This is the podcast episode where most of us, atone for our sins of not predicting games correctly.
Or at all.
Or at all.
For some of you.
Or remembering
I'm
that
going
this
to
league was a
hell.
thing.
After repeated reminders, I did remind you. So at this point, the fault is on you. All right. We did a fantasy league last year with this group, as well as Tess, who is a friend of the show, who unfortunately could not make it to this episode. But we're going to go through the other losers here and take a look at what games came out, what didn't, and just kind of have a mini retrospective of the last year of video games. You know? That seems like a good time. Before the bad time that's going to come. So, all of you all have access to the old sheet. You can see that on your own end. But the list of things that happened here, we have the points here. Mega Match is me. I had Revolver Physical, of course a play on Devolver Digital. Landslide victory. Not even close.
Yeah.
People are bad at picking games that release this year. So,
For you, apparently.
look, I got lucky because my entire theme was picking JRPGs up until the end when I ran out of JRPGs to pick and had to pick games that weren't JRPGs.
Boy, oh boy.
That's because
It's not the year of
non-Western
JRPG.
publishers are reliable, and that's a lesson we should learn for this
And even
year.
then, I did have one game that didn't release. I did pick up Warhammer 3, which did not come out last year. So, yeah, no suspense here. Landslide victory for me. Of course, I am basking in the glory, but let's do a quick run-through of some of the highlights of last year. My list, JRPG themed, mostly Monster Hunter, and a ton of Japanese games. So, very simple. All of them just happened to be really good this year. We had a lot of JRPG revivals and Shin Megami Tensei and Tales of Arise coming out, kind of breathing some new life into older franchises. And then Melty Blood Type Lumina existed. That's about all I can say for it. Macro Hard, which was Brett's group, also aimed in that indie and Japan sphere for the most part, Brett.
Wacky sphere.
The wacky sphere. But you got unlucky. You picked Final Fantasy 16, and that's not coming out.
Probably not even this year.
It hasn't
I got a
happened
little
yet.
hopeful. They showed a trailer, so that got me hyped up enough to believe that
Yeah.
it would be soon.
They showed a trailer with
but no.
gameplay. That's the important qualifier there.
Yes,
we saw gameplay of that game.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga did not come out. Stray did not come out. Anno Mutation M got delayed. So a lot of games not releasing. Plus, you picked some games that weren't great. You got Eldest Souls in here. People didn't like that. R-Type wasn't amazing. Sable, trash game.
I know, terrible. This is the thing, it just the
We love
nail
Sable.
in the coffin that I should just stop playing games because clearly I don't know what the industry likes.
Hey,
I know
you
what
picked
I
Halo
like,
Infinite, Brett,
but
and that did get you some big
that
points.
was literally just like
Which is
crawling through the
so-
desert. I'm dying,
Which is
please.
so ironic.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
ironic.
think
that
looking at
that's your
this,
pick.
it is tied for
Your
your highest
savior is
rated game that
Halo.
you picked.
Because I
It's
'cause I'm-
so funny.
I was looking at it and I was like, I need points. No one else has picked this yet. Okay.
Yep.
So I was just like, I guess it's mine.
Then we had VHS Assignment Blue, which was, of course, Wyatt's list, cosplaying as Rich Evans from Red Letter Media. And, you just didn't add anything. you had some good hitters on here. You could have been in the running, and then you
I
picked no
added a
games.
couple. I think I added Back for Blood and Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Yeah, they're in the order you added them. So the last two would have been the added ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, you didn't get God of War
Oh.
Ragnarok. Still is not out yet. Hellblade 2 is not out yet.
So hey, for someone who put in very minimal effort, I think I did a pretty okay job considering.
Well, you're second last.
Yeah, I'm
Third
boosting
last,
you up,
technically,
Wyatt.
After that, we had Tessa's list, which was very horror game themed because that's her sphere of video games that she enjoys. She just also got unlucky.
The most unlucky, I think.
The
Holy
most-
cow.
So many
Yeah.
games did not come out. So many games. It's a
Well,
shame
I
because
think-
most of them were listed to come out in 2021. These weren't like games that had TBA announcements.
I think, Tess, if you are listening to this, you did get lucky because I took the burden of Hogwarts away from you.
I will say everyone had good counterpicks this time. We had some good counterpicks. Everyone kind of predicted the games that wouldn't launch or the games that were not good. Alex,
Yeah. I'm not good at leagues.
it's a little barren.
Hitman 3.
You also got successfully counterpicked too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
there's
got
only
most
one
of your
that
picks
got
were
buried.
So you could not drop them. Yeah, you pick some. If these had come out, you might have been able to win with just these, but most of them did not.
So, because I can't figure out how to get back to the last list on the site. Wasn't my theme mostly H's?
Yeah, you had mostly
Yes.
H's up until
Mostly.
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2. You had H's. Hogwarts Legacy obviously coming out this year. Hollow Knight, Silk Song is MIA.
Yeah.
Completely MIA for the
Never.
moment. Hitman 3 was really good, and that is the one that you got points on.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Hitman 3. I'm playing it now. Not
And of course,
now.
you lost 3 points on the Dark Pictures Anthology because it scored slightly above a 70, but game scoring below that's
God.
rare. So that's
Somehow.
still a good counterpick.
Somehow.
I
Alright.
was hoping a horror anthology would be good.
So that's our standing of last year, and now it's time to reveal to you what we've been playing for. The way this worked last year, and the way it's going to work this year is whoever wins, the person that wins gets to choose the topic of everyone else for a thing of their choice that is essentially going to be content for Double M Radio, right? So this is going to be content for our next week's episode, our May the 4th episode, Star Wars related. We're going to have some fun stuff in there. And of course, one of those fun things is each of you needs to explain in a way that makes sense why Palpatine is back in Rise of Skywalker.
I haven't even
backstory
seen
of
the last
Palpatine.
movie.
Oh, you don't need to. Yeah, I never said this had to be
The
at all,
director
really.
Neither.
It's fine.
Either.
Whatever they do explain in Rise of Skywalker, whatever you're going to come up with is going to be better than how they
Yeah.
officially
The
canonically
bar is
explain.
on the floor, probably like 10 feet below it.
It's
so-
below the Earth's crust right now.
Can we
But of
be very
course-
theatrical with this? Can I dress
Oh,
up
yes.
as Palpatine
You can do whatever you want.
Please.
and say
With
it in his
one
voice?
constraint. You must use MS Paint or an equivalent program for all of your images. You may not use images from anything other than Star Wars. So you can use, like, if you want to use the box art of a Star Wars thing and then, like, draw something over it, you can do that. But you cannot use anything that is not, like, official Star Wars media related. No stock images, no wiki images, nothing. Just Star Wars box art in MS Paint.
Because I have a tablet, should I have to use my mouse
You can do whatever you want.
for this?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
I would say you can do whatever you want,
I'm-
but leave a time limit for yourself. This is not meant to be good; it's meant to be funny. So,
Yeah.
if you can draw funny with your hand better than you can draw funny with your mouse, draw funny with your hand, right? That's fine. But it's not work. Don't make it work. Make it enjoyable. Do some goofy things here, but there's going to be a twist for each of you. So I'd recommend all of you write this down somewhere as I'm saying it. Just keep note of it. We're going to start with Alex. You are the worst, so your description of Palpatine's return must involve Jar Jar Binks.
I was already gonna have that.
Jar Jar Binks must be central. And there's going to be a 5-minute time limit on these. A little bit lenient, but don't aim for more than that. Just be goofy with it. You don't have to have a presentation if you don't want to, but at least one MS Paint image must be there.
That reminds me, there's a bunch of Lego Star Wars shorts that I think we should watch because some of them are really good. Actually.
Oh, yeah. Wyatt, your description of this must involve slinging Jupas. At some point, a Jupa must be slung. I know that sentence is going to make no sense to anyone else, but Jupas
Not
are a
clue,
Star
but
Wars
it sounds
creature,
hilarious.
and
Oh,
they do
boy.
get slung. And Wyatt
Is
enjoyed
it
the
like those
slinging
little
Jupas
penguin
episode.
things?
Oh no, they're big. You could even say they're big
Oh.
bongo. It's a Star Wars Rebels thing. Brett, you were the most successful of our gang here.
The least worst.
The least worst of the bad.
Yeah.
And so all you need to do is just have somewhere in there recreate a meme image with Palpatine.
Okay.
Or another Star Wars character. But you gotta have one of the terrible MS Paint memes in there with a Palpatine or other character in this retelling that you're doing.
All right.
I might be giving
Cogs
Brett
are
a leg.
turning already.
I might be giving Brett a leg up, but I already have a meme idea, and it's just like
Don't
It's
give
not a
me
competition.
anything.
There's no
Don't give me
reward for this.
I'm already trying to imagine drawing an ATTE with my mouse and MS Paint right now. I'm already imagining what that's gonna look
You
like.
can use Photoshop if you want, but just make sure it's bad.
I have like a cheap piece, like a tablet around here
this
somewhere.
paint is
I
still
don't think-
with Windows 11, right? It can still get that.
Yeah, you can download
Okay,
MS
good.
Paint, or there's like Paint 3D. You can use whatever. The goal isn't the program; it's just don't put maximum effort into this.
All right.
Make
Unless
sure
you really
it's
want
funny.
to, but
Yeah.
it's not. The goal is not high art, and I say that because I know we have two artists, and I don't want to be like do free art. Do whatever
Thank
you want to do.
because I'm already too busy.
Do whatever doesn't take a lot of time, and is fun to do. So that's your punishments for loss, and then we're gonna have a fun time next week going over those. Special thing for next week's episode: it's gonna go live on May the 4th. Not the normal time, so it'll be like 2 days late. So we might play with when we're recording that. If you guys want a little extra time, we can look at that and get it done on a different day instead of Sunday. So we're a little bit closer. But that's going to be the podcast plan for next week. So don't worry, it's coming. There will be stuff posted on the channel on the regular time. It's just not going to be the podcast episode for that Tuesday. It'll go live on Star Wars Day because it's a Star Wars episode.
So basically, the entire episode is gonna be like us doing our own version of a Jackbox game. Basically, what's the Jackbox game?
That.
You have to like pitch a
PKO?
Originally I was gonna have us do that Jackbox game as a thing, but you can't make custom images for it, as far as I'm aware. So
okay.
I wasn't able to
Where
get.
you have to like pitch a product or something. What's
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. I don't remember the name, but it's like that. It's very
I can't
good.
remember. I know what you're
It's in
talking
like the
about,
I think the second to last Jackbox pack.
Patently stupid.
yeah.
That's what it
It's
is.
one of the two fun ones of that box.
Yeah, I've had a good time with Patently Stupid. All right, that stated, it's time to jump directly into our new set of Fantasy League for this year. We've got a few new rules this time. Things are a little bit different. Instead of being a race to get good games, this is more just a race to not be at the bottom, because each of us has 4 counter picks. Which means half of the games that we pick today could potentially be counterpicked by tomorrow. So the goal is just don't lose all your points counterpicking good games. That's the only goal, really. Another requirement is that 2 of the games you pick must be from new franchises and not be recurring franchises. So essentially they can't be like a Madden game. They can't be a Call of Duty game. But that's just a limitation on 2. It has to be something new to games. And then 1 game for each of us must be a free-to-play game.
Screw you. Because how? I have like a guess and one that I know, and it's gonna get stolen.
That
I know what it is.
Them's the
too.
rules.
I already know what it is.
So I'm going to put us back on our normal screen for a second while I just set the settings for this. Our order for this is going to be the inverse of scores from the last time. So I'll be going last. Alex is going to be going first.
It won't help.
Wyatt is second, and Brett is third. So that way it's a little bit of a fair way to do it, I think. Just to make
I
sure.
remember how to do this. It's
Are
been
we
so
gonna try
long.
and theme our picks again, or are we? Just...
That's up to you. So this year, I think we chose to do this after the slew of releases in early February and whatnot, because Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, those are safe bets, right? Whoever gets those is going to get 10 points immediately.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be past that. We're a little bit further than I think we intended, which means it's fun territory. Because I think a lot of us don't know 8 games per person that are releasing this year. So I
don't
think
know
we're going to
3.
be dumpster diving a little bit.
A little bit.
I love going elbow deep in the bargain bin.
And there's going to be a total of 16 games this time instead of 12. So we're each going to be picking 8 now, and then we will pick an additional 8 over the course of the rest of the year, essentially until November.
Yes, we definitely will. All of us
I will
definitely
send
will
more
pick
reminders.
8 more.
I figured out the reason why I couldn't last time was because I
There's a
couldn't
reason?
figure out how to click the forgot password button.
Good job.
Excellent.
I'm just that dull.
That's what you're going with. That's what you're going with.
Are you sure you wanted everyone to know that?
All right. So the draft has officially started.
Oh boy.
Alex, it is your pick. First, you get to choose a game coming out this year. Ideally.
So that's in league options, right?
You should see a thing pop up that just lets you pick
Or league
things.
can begin the draft.
Reload the page.
Refresh.
It is going to be it's a slightly different setup this time. So it should still be relatively easy to grasp.
Draft is currently in progress. It is your turn to draft. Select draft. Okay.
Go.
Draft game under player actions. There we go.
I hope this is a very enlightened
Oh my,
pick.
I thought it was going to give me a list. I have to search it?
Yes!
You can
the same
in
as
a new
last
tab.
time.
So there's a games tab at the top of the screen. You can just open that in a new tab, and that has a list of everything that potentially could release this year. So there is a nice big list for you to look at.
Open a new tab. Good. Okay, I need that. I know literally nothing that is coming out this year.
That was the goal. You're gonna have to pick
You're
something
giving us exactly what
based
we're looking for right now, Alex.
purely on instinct. I will say, Alex, you did pick Hogwarts Legacy last time, and that is confirmed to release this year.
So can I not pick it if it's confirmed?
No, you can.
No, you can. You should
That's the-
pick it if
yeah.
it's confirmed. Yeah, it's just not out yet.
It's just not out yet.
Uh,
And the only
you
rules. It is estimated for this year.
No, I'm saying if it's labeled as estimated instead of,
That means the general critic assumption is it's going to release this year.
which means we can pick it.
You can pick anything.
And the
You
game
can
isn't
pick whatever
out yet.
you want.
You can,
As long as the
you can
game is
pick-
not released,
No,
you can
I
pick
understand.
anything.
I understand the game isn't out yet. I'm just saying, like, if it's estimated, does that mean it's like?
that's a
You can pick
remaster.
games that are planned to release in 10 years if you want to.
I saw an Uncharted game and my heart skipped a beat, but it's the remaster. I'm going to go with Splatoon 3 for my first
Ooh.
pick.
That's probably a good one.
A safe bet, I said.
That's one I hadn't thought of. Splatoon's one of the few re-existing things.
Nintendo games are usually a safe bet.
Yeah. The question is,
Draft.
will
There we
Wyatt
go.
pick Advance Wars? And will Advance Wars come out this year?
Well, I'm gonna be a real asshole to a couple of you here.
Really?
But
Yeah.
we're also thinking of ratings, right? Not just if it's going to come out.
Yes.
Yeah,
If it
that's how
doesn't
you
come
get
out, it
points.
doesn't affect your score. But
Which retroactively affects your score because if you
Yeah.
need more points, you won't get any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can,
We're
if a
in
game
a-
is confirmed to not release this year before the release date that it potentially had, you can drop that game and pick a new one. But of course, you're going to be limited to whatever is after that.
Mhm.
And importantly, if someone counterpicks that game, you can't drop it. Counterpicks
I'm good.
will stick around.
I'm gonna pick this one because I have played it, and I know that 2 other people are gonna pick it before me. My first game is Gundam Evolution.
All right, well,
Really?
I'm screwed, and I no longer have a free-to-play game. Thank you for
Oh.
that.
Yes. All right. Because I played it with you guys, and even though I don't know a single thing about Gundam, it's a very well made Overwatch-esque inspired hero shooter. And it's free to play, which means that fulfills my free to play checkbox.
Requirement.
All right, I'll make sure to make a note not to play with you when it comes out.
Where is
You know
there
on
something where it
Brett's
says
hit
if it's
list.
free to play?
You will when you get to that slot. I don't believe you actually have to fill it today if you don't want to, but
Okay.
there will be games that are free to play that can fill that slot. It just means those two slots cannot be whatever you want.
All right. I've consigned to the fact that I'm not going to win a single one of these because there's just no hope. I just don't care about picking the things that other people might like that I'm not going to play. I just don't care. So instead, I'm gonna start with cool,
Cool math games.
cool math games, cool little indie game that I saw a while ago. That looks to be pretty well made and well crafted from what we've been shown so far. That is a new IP, Sea of Stars, that is projected to come out this year. That looks very cool, very Chrono
Now
Trigger.
you're on my hit list, Brett.
I don't care.
We're playing hard to get this time. I see.
We're going full fisticuffs now. So yeah, that is that what a new gaming franchise? I don't know why I didn't immediately go there because there is no Sea of Stars thing, but that's where it belongs. So I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it might fall into that slot. I think the new gaming franchise will just eventually lock. We're seeing the correct things. Yep, there it is. All right, concentrated alpaca time. Let's pick a game. By slot free to play. I feel like free to plays are going to be the thing to fill out. You know what? I've just realized there's one in here I have to add. I have to hope it releases this year. I have to believe it's going to come out, and that's Path of Exile 2.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not 100% positive it's coming out this year, but I want it to real bad.
I'm hoping Baldur's Gate 3, but I feel like I'm 100% positive it's not going to come out this year.
Do you take the risk?
No.
Wow. Wow, that's a choice.
I wish I felt confident in taking the risk, but I don't. 100% unconfident.
And you gotta exude that confidence to put it in. You gotta know.
The secret sauce, the secret ingredient.
And if you want to put a game in one of those tagged slots, you have to click it when you're doing the select next game. And that will show you games that are eligible to be placed in that slot.
Okay.
Weird.
Did you go, Ryan?
Yeah, you have to reload the page.
Okay.
Yeah.
It still says next to
It
draft
still says
is
yours.
concentrated alpaca.
My turn to draft. I've drafted a game. Oh, it's because I'm fourth. I forgot about this. It reverses
we
order
go back
every
and
time.
forth. Yeah.
It reverses order.
It's snake style.
Yes, it is. I completely forgot about that. You know what? There's a small handful of games coming out this year that I think are high on the selection list. And I think number one on them is God of War Ragnarok. Which I think is a lock for releasing this year. And also getting a decent review score, so I'm gonna...
Damn you.
I'm gonna swipe that because you've swiped Brett and I's Gundam, Wyatt. You can't have it.
Retribution!
I went right for the throat right away.
Right for the jugular, and I'm not gonna have that. Not on this show. No bloodshed on this family-friendly podcast.
All right, so I'm looking through the new game franchises to, I guess, right my wrong by instead of picking a new game franchise, picking a new game franchise this time.
Yep. Which is most games, to be fair. A lot of games fit into those categories.
Something also that I noticed last night when I was writing a bunch of these down, because they added a watch list thing that I don't think was there last time, so I kept my own notes of what to add.
Some
this
new
time.
stuff this year.
They don't have a lot of games that I have on my Steam wish list, because they're just indies that are too small, I guess.
You can manually select one of those, but you have to remember they need to get review scores to earn points.
In that case, then let me just scrub through.
The only other major change this year is that bidding for games is now going to be publicly displayed. So if a game gets announced that you want on your list, be on top of it, because a bidding war could start.
Yeah. Let's go back. saw something that
How
caught
do you
my
get-
eye.
How do you search specifically by like tag?
When it allows you to draft something, the tags will show up on the bottom,
okay.
and you can click.
Yeah,
on
or you
them.
can type the tag in on the master games list and press the tags button. That'll show you my
I
tag.
put this there last time, but we have a confirmed release date for it now of September, and that is
Yeah.
All Elite Wrestling, the game. I
Do
don't
we have
care.
the confirmed release date?
September 2022 is the estimated release for it, and that's far enough where it's like, you know, you have to push it back a couple months or whatever. It's still within the 2022 zone.
Still might come out.
It still might come out. Higher chance than last time. And like I said before, I am doing this with reckless abandon. I no longer care. My ties to this earth have been completely cut.
I will tell
I'm
you, Brett,
going
if I
to
had not
continue.
noticed that God of War Ragnarok was not Wyatt's first pick, I would have taken that game. That's my other pick.
Well,
AEW Fight Forever. Let's get excited. If that is the title that they go with.
which is a good one, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan called it early. I got to put Advance Wars Reboot Camp on my list because listen,
Gotta believe.
it's a pair of great strategy games, and
That's a belief pick.
yeah, that's a well, I mean the base game is really good, right? I mean, and that's the belief of a lot of remasters that come out really bad. It's like, well, the base game is good, so how bad could it possibly be? So it's a bit of a, it's not a great.
Yeah.
It doesn't immediately mean success. My only hesitation for putting it here is that the release date is still TBA, and that's purely because of recent world events, and God knows how that's gonna evolve.
When it's gonna be far enough away that Nintendo would be okay releasing a game that has some cartoony Russia analogs.
Yeah. But I'm gonna put it here anyway because I just, it's Advance Wars, and I gotta rep my
show?
my favorite
Your game.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm watching Advance Wars TV show.
What?
Because I said Advance Wars the show instead of the game. I was like, I'd watch that.
Oh,
I'd watch an
God,
Advance
I'd
Wars
watch
anime.
that. That'd be a great like Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh
type of deal, especially with the new art style.
Especially about tanks and explosions.
Yeah.
So Alex, what is your thought process now?
I've been looking at this one for a while, and I've wanted to pick it. Though I will most likely, unfortunately, not play it when it comes out because, my God, it would immediately give me nightmares.
Oh no!
And it's also the pick for my new game franchise. I'm going to pick Atomic Heart.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
Solid.
That's a nice like shadow pick.
Yeah.
You won't see that coming.
Who's gonna be the Chad that goes for
No, come on.
Abandoned? Why hasn't anyone picked Abandoned yet?
Oh,
I'm putting that
Poor
squarely
Abandoned.
I'm putting that squarely in the counter pick category if someone is dumb enough to pick
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Instant counter pick.
Yeah.
Atomic Heart. Select.
Oh, that means it's quickly coming up to me again. Oh.
Draft
Well, I think it's Alex's turn again, isn't it?
It is. It is
It is,
Snake
it
Pick
is.
once more.
Yeah, 'cause it loops around.
Yes.
I probably should have been looking for 2 games in a row then.
And you got options. If only you could pick Elden Ring. If only that was.
You just win. That is why it is not allowed.
Game over.
It's because last year we only had, I think, one game that broke the 90 barrier until December, which was Forza, I believe.
Yeah, last year was a really bad year for critically reviewed games. Even though some of the games that got like not great scores were still like very.
We had a lot of things that were in 89, just not.
Yeah.
Nothing broke that 90 barrier, which is rare. Usually we see
stingy.
at least a handful of like 91s sneak up. There's a few picks left here that I think are still very ripe. Who's going to be the Chad who goes for Pokemon?
God.
Because you know it's going to review well, even if it's bad.
Yeah.
3 points.
You and your safety picks.
It says
Hey,
here-
I had
no
no
dignity
safety
at
picks
all.
last time.
It says here there's an unnamed Witcher 3 DLC coming out this year.
Witcher
which-
3? What?
That means someone
Yeah.
randomly added that.
It probably,
Users
they
can add
had-
games.
They have Metroid Prime 4 last year and this year, even though there's been like no official talk on it.
Here's the real because hey, anyone looking for a free to play game? Star Wars Hunters.
Man,
So someone might have to at this rate.
Oh no, I just lost it. I scrolled right past. Yeah. Okay. For the free to play right now, I think I'm gonna go with Path of Exile 2.
oh, you can't. I
What?
got that.
What? You said? Oh crap! Ah!
Yes.
The memory of the goldfish comes back to bite you.
Look, my like 800 hours in Path of Exile has taught me, at the very least, they know how to make a good game, and hopefully Path of Exile 2 is good, and hopefully it comes out this year, which is the biggest question mark.
Crap.
That game may just not come out.
And did
I
you
think
say
they
you
announced
already
2022
some-
before.
And oh my god, I'm already losing it. Someone already picked Rumbleverse, right?
No. Rumbleverse is not picked.
Huh.
I actually heard from some of the closed beta players that game was kind of fun. Even though it had a very bad showing with the trailer.
That was the showing with like the weird art style and just
Was
like
it?
It was like the wrestling game that looked kind of like Funko Pops.
Oh,
Almost.
yeah. Yeah.
There was like a wrestling battle royale.
It literally had like people will play this for a week and then never again written like on the cover of the game. It was really weird. That they
very
actually
similar
put
to
that
Knockout
there.
City, where I've heard people. It looked like that at the first trailer, and then people apparently have really liked it since. Although Rumbleverse, I don't know, because I think it is just from like 1 or 2 closed beta tests that I've heard opinions from.
Then I'm trying to knock out the free to play because it looks like there's very few and far between on the list.
Oh, it's narrowing. It will narrow.
I'm gonna
That's
go
why
with
I
you.
picked the best one.
I'm gonna try out Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
Could be a
Okay.
sleeper hit.
Hopefully,
There's
those who
Yu-Gi-Oh!
will
Boom
play
right
it will
now.
hopefully review it well.
Yeah,
It'll
that's the
come
big
in-
question mark. Doesn't get enough reviews to qualify.
It'll come in as a
Oh.
nice surprise, and people will be like, "Yugi, oh."
Heh.
It just needs to have 4 reviews on OpenCritic by the end of the year. That's the criteria for getting a score, which is not particularly difficult. Though for some games it does take a while. Like I had the Binding of Isaac expansion last year, and that did not get the 4th review until like mid-December.
Oh jeez.
Now, if I there it is. Okay. Wait, what? It's already been released. No.
Oh, Alex, your
Oh,
free-to-play
come
plans
on.
are going down.
Oh god.
Ruins it.
This
That's the best
is
part.
really not going well.
This was the goal. This was what I'd hoped would happen.
Of course. You want to see me squirm?
Hey,
I'll
you
do
got
that for
Arc
free.
Raiders, Puzzle Quest 3.
I don't want to pick Vampire the Masquerade Blood
Ooh.
Hunt. Don't make me do that.
Dude, I don't know. That game might be a sleeper hit. I think the game's either going to get 0s or it's going to get like 9s out of nowhere.
Has Aperture Desk Job already released? I feel like it's
I believe
Yes.
it has.
Oh, come on.
Shouldn't it say it next to the thing?
Yeah, there's like a release date category.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a good few. You got Exomecha. Exomecha's still sleeping around. Might show up.
I don't see where that is. Oh god.
You can just type in Exomecha. It's the game that we saw with like the weird robots and dinosaurs that fought
Robots
with
and
big laser
dinosaurs?
swords.
Yes, absolutely.
But robot dinosaurs, not like actual dinosaurs.
Oh. I'll. God, this is something that we can can we drop the free to play but add another free to play onto it that hasn't been picked for the draft for the after
You
draft
can
pick,
drop
or-
one game that has a release date for 2022. So one of
Oh,
the games that
God.
you pick, you can drop if it's going to release in 2022. With the caveat that if it gets counterpicked, it can't get released.
So mecha search game, please. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that to move things along because I've been sitting on this for
Hey,
quite a while.
decisions. Unless you want to pick Diablo Immortal.
No, I really don't. And if
I'm
anyone
just here-
does, I'm going to
listen.
counterpick it immediately.
To play devil's advocate, pun intended. From what I've heard, people who did play it,
Oh,
that it was
no,
pretty
what?
fun to play.
Hang
Yeah.
on, Exomecha is showing up as the new game franchise and not free to play.
Well, that's where it is.
You must have clicked the new game franchise one.
Don't know what to
There's
tell
more
you,
than
Alex.
This is awful.
Did you click the right tag?
I can't select
This is off
tags.
to a
It's not
great
giving
start.
me things that are only that.
I will tell you, I believe I can change that on this end
Oh god.
and move it into the other one. But I'll mess with that afterwards.
This is
Wyatt,
ridiculous.
you can look and find a thing to put there.
So we've been sitting here for so long that I had a game ready to go, and then I forgot what it was.
This is why essential things to have is just a pen and paper nearby. Write your stuff down.
Which I do have. It's right. It's right here.
You don't even... Look, you just gotta write some things down. Get the mind going.
Oh,
Find some
man,
games that are spicy
That's
on your list of things to pick.
That's embarrassing. I mean, is anyone really surprised at this point, though? Oh, wait a minute! I remember what it is. Okay.
But is it a good
No.
pick? That's the question.
Now, this one is a little bit tricky because there was a recent release. The studio usually puts out quality work every single time. However, there was a release that came out very recently that's starting to call the general quality level of the studio into question. But I'm still going to select Bayonetta 3 because it has a 2022 release.
Wyatt, I'm gonna punt you.
What?
I'm gonna punt you. I'm gonna roll you up
He's
into a
going to
little
punt
ball and punt you.
Into the sun.
Platinum Games, they're known for quality work. Bayonetta is a strong series, and it's also, very importantly, it's not a live service garbage game, which means coming from Platinum, it's probably going to be pretty good. So, there you go.
All right.
All right. I'm just
Yeah,
stealing
you
everyone's
can
picks.
now, Alex. You should just be able to move Exomecha into the other slot once the draft is ended, most likely.
Okay.
You can just pick one of your new game franchises and move it back into that slot when you're done.
Yeah, I'm just
All right.
Just taking
where's
everyone's
the
picks today.
Play-Doh?
and,
Yeah. You're going
know
for
what?
that Bayonetta. I might have to counterpick it out of bad faith now.
Oh.
just as a solid FU.
Just because I know it's going to be good, I'll take the point hit. I've won once, I don't need to do it again.
Oh my god.
Brett's got a
You're not
stinking
even
face
look-
on.
Ryan's not even looking to win this time. He's just looking to just cause chaos.
I'm excited to see what the counterpicks end up being.
I have faith in literally nothing in the entire free-to-play category. Literally nothing in the entire free-to-play category.
Worst
and because
case-
of that, Sounds like a Star Wars Hunters kind of night to me.
There you go. There's your Star Wars Hunters. Excellent pick.
Thank you.
Really love to see it.
It
God.
happened.
I just had to scroll down and verify that you chose that.
Brett, I
listen.
was just kidding.
What else am I gonna pick? Everything else is gonna be garbage.
It's made
It
by
really
Senka,
does.
Brett. Senka. What are you?
Everything's literally garbage in the free-to-play category. There's literally no chance any of it is going to be good.
All right, now
Tom
I
Clancy's
have
X-Defiant? Oh!
I have a couple of decisions to make for the next pick. The big one is anyone else gonna pick a Bethesda game?
They have those?
You
They
know,
make-
I would if I had the heart.
Because I have to believe, last-ditch effort, that Starfield is going to, at the
Wow.
very least, be decent.
Wow.
That's a lot of faith. That's a lot of faith.
Yeah, man.
Because
Wow.
if it is good, that is near to my dream game. It is so close, so I have to, I need to give Todd Howard my energy for this one game to be picked. And because, hey, I'm in the 4th slot, I get to pick 2 in a row, which actually makes this much
True.
easier to do. Because now I don't feel as bad. There's a game coming up very soon that I think looks extremely good. And I want it on my list, and that's Trek to Yomi.
Yep. It's like we've said a bunch of times, you know, that Devolver Digital logo is quickly becoming a
Seal of
stamp
quality.
approval. Yep.
Bare minimum, I don't think it's going to get below a 70, which is really the goal here. Just
Yeah.
a few things as possible that go below 70.
So in the theme of screwing myself and only digging my grave deeper,
Oh,
in
Brett.
the interest of
One
only
thing's to
picking
do.
things that I just want to see what my final score is based off of, I guess now, things that I like and the Star Wars game. You know, we've apparently been nipping at the top of Ryan's list. I think I might be nipping at something at the bottom of Ryan's list.
Really?
We're gonna snag the most likely to be great but get the worst critical scores, Soul Hackers 2.
What is
Is that
That, I completely forgot that was slated for this year.
What's that?
Well, it has a date. It's a Shin Megami Tensei game, which clears up nothing from your point of view, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. Because
Well, I
there's
mean,
nothing that
Shin
I can
Megami
say that will
Tensei
make it
games
clear.
generally score very well.
Well,
They're critical
You'd be
darlings.
surprised. You'd
For the
be
most
surprised.
part. Most of the recent ones have.
the only thing I know about Shin Megami Tensei is that it's related to Persona, right?
Yes,
Isn't Persona
this is-
like an
Vaguely,
offshoot?
yeah.
This is the other offshoot, basically.
Well,
Right,
Shin Megami
there's a-
Tensei was the origin of Persona, but the franchise just went in different directions. It's like one is
Same
the
thing with Soul
more
Hackers now.
story oriented, whereas Shin Megami
Okay,
Tensei
now you
tends
lost
to be
me.
more. Wyatt always saying Shin Megami Tensei more gameplay oriented, Persona more story oriented.
Yeah.
That's generally the split up. All right, what's the spicy next pick, Wyatt? What's calling to you?
There's just a lot of games on this list that I just do I pick I Am Jesus Christ?
I've
I
been
think-
eyeing that
You
this
can't.
entire time.
You
I've been eyeing that
can't.
this entire time.
You can't pick that. You know it's a
Do
bad
it.
idea.
Here's the thing,
Do
I
it.
almost want to pick it just to mess with
Do it.
Brett more.
Wyatt,
You
if you did, you
already
just sort
stole
my
my
Nintendo save
child.
yourself.
You already stole my child. Just
I-
pick it.
Do I mess with Brett even more, or is he
I
baiting
don't
me?
care.
Do
Or
you
is he
want-
baiting me into a bad
Wyatt,
pick?
do you
I
want
want
Wrath
you to pick-
set
I want you to pick Gundam Evolution and lose anyway.
Wyatt, do you want wrath set upon you, the likes of which has only occurred when I picked Hogwarts Legacy in front of Tess?
Oh God, I remember that. I remember that. That was
That's what you'll get.
Hey, you could still secure it.
oh my God. Another Two Worlds game is coming out this year.
What?
They still make Two Worlds games?
That can't be real.
That's gotta come on. There's no way. Hold on,
I will
I'm
remind you,
gonna derail
users
us.
can add games to this list.
No, that's why I'm looking at Two Worlds 3. There's no way that's a thing. There's no way.
I have to know if that's real.
Press release. Two Worlds 3 enters development.
Okay, it's in development.
Oh,
Probably doesn't mean it's going to be out
my-
this real year.
Brett and Alex, have you
Mhm.
ever heard of Two Worlds before?
No.
No.
So, do you mind if I go on a little tangent?
Well, pick your game first and then go on the tangent
you know
while
what?
we're progressing.
You go on the tangent. You go on the tangent while I focus on.
All right, you focus on picking your game. Two Worlds is around the time that Oblivion came out. I think Two Worlds 1 came out and was a very janky little RPG, but it had like a cult following because of the fact that there weren't many RPGs like it. Two Worlds 2, on the other hand, is one of the best like Eurojank RPGs that exists because it is a perfect encapsulation of the early 2000s in video game development. And you can find it for dirt cheap on modern platforms very easily. And I recommend checking it out because it is a trip. The kind of game that is hard to believe is real, but it does indeed exist. It can hurt you.
Well, I'm gonna pick a bit of a controversial pick I've got here. But I'm gonna put my money down as one of my new game franchise picks for Spoken.
All right. All right.
I'm putting in a lot of faith because listen, this is a Square Enix game that doesn't have any
Have you watched the recent
shooter.
gameplay videos, Wyatt?
Yes.
It looks
I
interesting.
think so. It does.
I
It
want to
looks
get my
really
hands on it.
smooth. It looks really smooth. It looks really slick. And it's not a live service thing because live service and Square Enix do not go together at all. And so because it's not that, I have a lot more faith in them to make a quality product. So here we go. And it also fills out one of my new game franchise picks.
Yep.
So that helps.
So I have to, after you've picked this, and while Alex is debating his next pick, Wyatt, ask you, how much do you think it costs to get the Two Worlds Ultimate Collection on Steam?
So, I'm gonna say, I feel like they're delusional enough to have it at a fairly high price.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna say 25 or 30. I'm gonna say $30.
$30. All right. Remember, Alex, you will have to pick 2 games in a row.
Yep.
How do
Wyatt,
we do?
you are very off.
Oh,
it is
no.
$98.08.
What
Oh.
the hell?
And to go through what this includes, it includes the original Two Worlds Epic Edition, which has the Tainted Blood DLC, the Curse of Souls DLC, soundtrack, art book, digital world map, a bunch of other bonuses, movesets, and mocap videos of them.
Who cares?
Exclusive
Who
in-game items,
cares?
and Two Worlds Pinball.
Oh.
Here's the other thing. They added microtransactions to Two Worlds 2 many, many years after
Oh yeah.
the game came
Well,
out.
with Two Worlds
and
2, this
no one-
includes Two Worlds 2 HD, Two Worlds 2 The Call of Tenebrae single-player DLC, the Shattered Embrace single-player DLC, the Echoes of the Dark Past 1 and 2 multiplayer DLCs, a
That's
official
right. This game had
soundtrack.
multiplayer. This game
Yep,
had multiplayer.
an official soundtrack with over 240 minutes, not hours, minutes of sound.
Oh my
Pirates of the Flying
God.
Fortress. It just relists all the DLC that it just listed. Then a bunch of
my.
microtransaction items. And then a 72-page art book. And that's $98. And Two Worlds 2 Castle Defense. Which is a tower defense
Oh.
game.
Oh no.
What does this studio still do? Hold on. I'm gonna open up my Steam.
Two Worlds 2, I believe, came out in 2011. It might have even been before that, because this is the HD release date. But it's just a very interesting...
You
It's
type
an interesting
in,
set of games.
if you type in Two Worlds on Steam, it like doesn't even show up because it's buried under NBA 2K20 or
Yeah.
NBA 2K22, Destiny 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. Jesus. Oh man.
It's very interesting. Two Worlds is
When you-
one of those weird franchises that just kind of slipped by.
If you have an affinity in any way to bad voice acting, look up some of the dialogue from the original Two Worlds, because the voice acting in Two Worlds 1 is right up there with like some of the worst.
And the Gothic
like,
games. 100% add the
Yes.
Gothic games to that list in Arcania.
It not only does it match, but it goes past that moment in whichever Final Fantasy game, with the one that's had the laugh that's been memed for so long. Which,
Oh,
it reaches that and
12?
far exceeds that. I'm
10.
not kidding.
It's from 10.
10. It's honestly incredible. It's something special.
Just remember, you don't need to fill your free-to-play tag, because you can move that game later.
Okay. I found one and then I lost it. But
I will say,
have one
there
that
is
I'm
a
gonna-
dearth of good indie games coming out this year.
Yeah.
Things to keep an eye on.
So the first one was
And a helpful thing is the hype factor listing is a kind of mishmash stat of people, the percentage of people that have picked the game versus how many times it's counterpicked. So a high hype factor is generally good.
well, crap.
But low hype factor just means not many people are picking it, which could just mean they don't know about the game. A lot of indie games will have low hype factor.
They're still releasing like music tracks and DLC for Two Worlds 2.
Let's go.
As
So
of
the first one
2019.
I'm gonna pick is because I've just had phenomenally crap luck with these things before. I figure I'll go with safe bets and I'll do the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Hey, I mean, no shame. No shame. And if they actually turn out to be good, we're in for a good time.
What was the other one?
Can always sort by Nintendo as well.
Um.
I will say there's a few Nintendo games on this list that I'm surprised have slipped through this far.
Oh no, I can't. Oh, where was it? Okay, there. Wait, what's the? Oh, it's a port. Crap.
Rest in peace. What was the plan?
Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous.
Oh yeah, that is already out. Been out for a while. Actually, it came out last year.
Oh. Oh god.
It is very good.
I figured it would be. I like D&D style games.
So you're having a rough go of it.
Yeah, I really am.
Did you spend all that time when it was looping back around to you looking for games and stuff?
Yeah. I've been blanking out from what you guys are saying, trying to find something.
You got options.
I will say the way that they try and help you filter things on this website isn't amazing. So I've been using a lot of like Google searches.
Oh, I recommend using Google at the same time.
I have many tabs open right now.
Could always hedge your bets and say the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake is gonna come out.
Ew, no. I'm gonna go with. I'll just pick something. Frog Detective 3: Corruption at Cowboy County.
Let's go, baby! Frog
Dude.
Detective representative, let's go!
I'm actually gonna say I think Frog Detective 2 was apparently a really good game.
Frog Detective 2 is awesome, and so is Frog Detective 1. They're very fun.
As long as it's the game that I think it
game.
is. Yes, it is. Yeah, I've heard they're very good.
They're very, very stupid, very good. Very wholesome 100.
Very wholesome froggy games.
Oh my good! I just saw the cover art. That looks wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's that and the Pokemon one.
You sound reluctant.
Of course, I'm reluctant to Pokemon. I've been searching for what feels like hours for this one turn.
This is the difficulty. We gotta dredge the bottom of the barrel for the games that we would not normally pick.
All of the big releases already came out this year. That's the problem.
Everything that we knew about in 2021 is gone. We're now in the uncharted territory.
I wish
Of summer
Uncharted. I wish
releases.
there was a new Uncharted game.
I was just thinking that. Just thinking that.
All right, Wyatt, back to you. Is it going to be a good pick, or is it going to make Brett and I mad again?
There's not much left that can make me angry.
I don't think
gone.
this one's gonna piss anyone off. But I think that Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope is a pretty
I forgot that
solid-
was slated for this year.
I
You
think
got
that's
me
gonna be
excited.
a pretty solid bet. Yeah, because the first game was great. You know, I think
Yeah, I
Nintendo's
absolutely want to
involvement-
play Spark of Hope.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's involvement really helped because Ubisoft was the primary developer, right?
Yes,
know how
Nintendo I think
much-
had a lot of oversight and probably tech help to get it running on the Switch, right?
Which I feel like, given Ubisoft's output over the past, you know,
Makes
5,
sense.
6, 7 years, that probably helped quite a bit. And so if they're going to have the same kind of oversight as they did for the first game, I think this is in pretty good hands. So
Yeah, we've seen gameplay, so fingers crossed it actually comes out.
I'm picking a lot of like estimated 2022. I'm not picking a lot of things with like firm release dates, which worries me. But
Oh, I don't know that there are enough games with firm release dates for us to fill out these lists with firm
Yeah.
release dates.
I wasn't sure if I was just looking in the wrong place, or I was like, yeah, that's how scant everything is right now.
Yep, we're in the territory of unconfirmed release dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I think
mentally
I think,
prepare yourself for that.
Yeah, I think Mario and Rabbids is a pretty safe bet.
All
for
right.
sure.
All right.
All right. I picked this last time. It didn't come out. It says early 2022. Still doesn't have a release date, and we're at the end of April here. But I don't care. Because, I mean, cats are good. So I'm going to pick Stray.
Oh,
Man, I
okay.
hope Stray comes out this year.
Oh yes.
Just,
Yeah.
know, is it going to be a masterpiece? Probably not. But if you get to be a cat and walk around,
I don't mind.
who's
And
Who's
find
to
your
say
way
that that's
home
bad?
eventually.
Exactly. Yeah. Who's to say that there's something wrong with that?
I just want to play that. It sounds like a good time.
Exactly.
All right. Now the time comes when the lists are being narrowed down, and I have to ask myself, does Stalker 2 release? Absolutely not.
I don't think so. There's
No
too
way.
many things working against it.
No
There's
way.
Mhm.
Is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gonna get a good review score? I don't know. It's a coin toss. But you know what? I'll take those odds over Hogwarts Legacy right now.
Oh.
At least Xenoblade, I believe in. Look, I want Hogwarts Legacy to be good, but I am not super positive it will be. Hollow Knight Silksong, I don't know when that game's coming out.
Not this year.
Probably not this year.
I
But
wish.
I do think, just confirming through the list, checking that I'm not forgetting something that I had that was very important. Lord of the Rings Gollum, I mean, I hope it's good, but man, I doubt it will be.
Who cares? Yeah.
I don't feel like playing a game where I crawl around on the ground as a little gremlin. That's ugly when I do that in real life.
That's what real life is like.
Games are
But
still
what
an
I
escape
do-
from
Of all the
reality.
things to take out of that franchise to make a game out of, that's like one of the last things that I would pick.
Look, I am very
I've
confident,
never-
however, that Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is going to be very good, so I am gonna yoink that.
Was that a DLC? We can pick.
That was a DLC.
You can pick expansion DLC. If it shows up in the list, you can generally pick it. There will be like one or two exceptions because it did show Mountain Blade 2, which I believe is not a pickable game because it's in early access currently. But generally, if you see it, you can pick it.
Floundering. Alex is floundering.
I really am. This is causing physical pain.
Brett, I hope you've brought your game this time.
Well, I did. But are people gonna like it? Probably not. Will
Oh,
I
boy.
like it? Probably not. Will I play it anyway? And do I
Infinite
want it to be
confidence.
good? Hell yeah, I do. I mean, Valkyrie Elysium looks like the most mid ever that they might as well have just called it Valkyrie mid. But I don't care.
I want to play it.
I want to play it. Maybe enough people will try it that it'll revitalize the little franchise. I don't know. I can hope. I can hope.
You gotta remember those announced Square Enix titles.
Yeah.
Never out. We also have Saints Row coming out.
Yes.
I sent you guys that video in general. The humor looks a little cringe, but the customization, the level of customization was really cool, I will say.
It is your
Quite
go,
impressive.
Wyatt.
It is my go. What did you what's
What did I?
yeah.
when he went the
when
When I'm
have you ever
when
have
you
you ever
when you when I
however
your mom
when you ever
and
good
the
tangent.
thing and
I'm glad we got on a tangent of just not being able to say words. It's the running theme of the day.
Do I want to pick that?
Can I counterpick myself? I'm like, this sucks.
You might be able to. I think you can actually.
I just get like a net, like I guess it'd be a net gain, honestly, if a game does bad.
If you think it's gonna be bad, it probably would be better than counterpicking something good. Question is, which side of the coin flip does Forspoken fall on? The counterpick side or the not counterpick side?
That's my biggest riskiest play so far.
It's a big if, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be making some risky plays, but y'all are leaving some good games up.
I don't care. I'm so past.
Are you saying you don't want to play Nintendo Switch Sports?
No, I don't. I really don't. I played the better version of that when I was like 12 on the Wii.
But Brett, that game is gonna review well.
I know.
It's funny that you mentioned Nintendo Switch Sports, Ryan, because that was my next pick.
Yeah, I had to
With
say it
Nintendo
because in case I'm trying to give people hints for games.
Oh, you didn't need a hint. That was my next one. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something I wanted first.
Oh yeah. The question is,
I
how
know it's
long
gonna
is
get picked.
Hogwarts Legacy going to stay on the table? I think is the true question. Does anyone feel confident enough in Hogwarts Legacy to pick it?
Alex is going to run out of options that he knows about eventually.
Sounds like you are too,
God.
Brett.
2 in
I'm
a
gonna be
row.
honest.
I
Sounds
still
like you
have
are
more
too.
lists. It's just filling
Hey,
out those specific
You
requirements.
can always
that I
select the
can-
yearly sports franchise.
Oh, no.
never over my dead body. I will curse FIFA with my dying breath.
Oh,
I hate sports games more than I hate them when I went on my rant for Call of Duty.
but do you hate them more than it being your turn?
Oh God, is it?
Yes! It's been for like 5 minutes. Oh my god.
I finally have 2 picks ready. God forbid one of them doesn't show up on the list. I have them written down.
If it
Number
doesn't show up on the
one.
list, you can add it manually.
Unless it's
Number
already
1.
out.
Warhammer 40k Dark Tide.
Oh, that's a good pick. I like that pick.
Saved.
Number 2. Even though I'm not going to play it because it doesn't seem like my kind of game. Like, I feel like I've done that twice now on this list. Gotham Knights.
I forgot that was for this year. I guess
Hopefully the
I must have
developers don't forget it's
conflated.
for this year.
True, very true. I forgot that Suicide Squad is the one that was delayed, and Gotham Knights is still slated to come out.
See what happens with that Suicide Squad game. It's a
It's
lot
either
of
going to
not
be,
hearing what the
again,
game's
it's a coin
about.
flip. It's either going to be very fun or just milquetoast, completely
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah. I have faith in
Um,
Rocksteady because I mean their
Yeah.
output ever since Batman has been really good. So
Draft game.
Yeah.
I
they
clicked
definitely
on
have a
it
good
and
pedigree
it
behind
didn't
them.
save my thingy. Search game. Come on. Don't freeze. Don't freeze.
Oh, it
What
not
are
saving
you-
might be it refreshing.
What are you doing? Select draft game. Here we go. And then draft game. Technology does not agree with me.
Technology's having a rough time with Alex today.
And going with Dark Tide. There we go. Okay.
Got your Gotham Knights and Dark Tide ready to go.
This is the face of a defeated man just because
Alex,
I have to
you
make
are only going to
decisions.
have to pick, I believe, one more game.
And when it comes back around.
You're picking 8 games this time, and you have 8 more games that you can draft at any point by bidding.
If any more decide to come out.
Oh, there's still many that are up there. The question is,
They're
will there
not
be
real
better
to me.
things revealed during the summer?
One can only hope.
Will there be better things revealed during the summer that are going to come out this year?
That we get release dates for.
Yeah. God.
No E3 could mean less announcements of that type.
What if literally not a single other game comes out this year?
Hey, we got Skywalker Saga. We got Dying Light 2 is pretty good. We got Elden Ring. To be honest, we got Elden Ring. That's it. That's the only game we need
No
for
other
the year.
games have to come out. We're fine, yeah.
Lord of the Rings Online is going strong again. That's a good enough year for me.
Weird.
Man, I gotta say the new game franchise list is a little not 100% what I'd like. But
Well, because they ignore, or not ignore, it's just no one has put on a lot of the brand new like indie stuff that's coming
Yeah.
out. Because I said that before, and I'm simply too lazy, cannot be bothered to physically put in any of them because I just don't care enough.
I kind of I want to play in a way where I'm forcing Brett to pick I Am Jesus Christ.
You can't do that. You can't.
There's no way for that to happen.
It's impossible.
I want him to pick it out of sheer desperation.
Even if you put a gun to my head, I won't. I would accept death sooner than the Jesus Christ game.
Excuse me, you will call it by its proper title.
Wait. I thought that was a fake mobile ad. That's a real game?
No, it's a real game.
Oh, it's real.
No.
Whether or
It's
not
real-
it comes out, we have not yet
Yeah.
seen. But
It kind of looks
real-
like one of those.
it is a real
Listen,
game.
it's as real as a heart attack.
Unfortunately.
Come on. No, that's a fake mobile game ad. That has to be.
Well, the ad
No.
was 100% fake. It was not a real ad. But
Yeah,
the
in terms of
game is
showing
real.
What the game is going to be. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, here's another, iffy, don't really know much about it. But to fulfill my second new game franchise, I'm gonna pick Redfall.
let's hope it comes out.
Let's first of all hope it comes out. And second of all, I think Ryan and I our interest was piqued when when that trailer came out.
And gradually
even
lower it as
though-
nothing else has been heard.
Right. But I have not heard of almost anything else on this new game franchise list. And
If only you could have picked Triangle Strategy.
That even review well? I heard
yes,
nothing about it after
it
it
did.
dropped. Okay.
Triangle Strategy is apparently a very good game. Just with an unfortunate name.
But I mean, that goes without saying at this point.
Yeah.
But I do want to point it out every single time.
Oh, don't worry. I know.
Hey, I will say I didn't point it out. Ryan did this time. I said nothing.
Hey, I am always the bearer of bad thoughts. So, bad takes.
Well, you are the primary host of this podcast, so I'd say that
It's
checks
your
out.
job.
I bring the bad takes so that you can argue about them.
We have
All right.
bad takes, so you don't have to.
As you will anyway. All right. I have a couple picks. I'm gonna double check some, see if there's any I forgot about real quick. Because we're getting this is. I mean, for the two that went before me, that was you guys only have one more left.
Yeah,
So we
and you
gotta-
only have one more after this.
Yes, exactly. Not that there's any saving me, but that doesn't count because it already exists. Man, what are video games? Why do people still make them?
How do they exist?
God, Scorn is still on here. Can you imagine? That game's never going to come out.
It's
Scorn
not
is
gonna
never
release.
going to come out.
I refuse to believe it.
Yep. All right. Where the hell was it? You know, I have not played the games that this is based off of, but this has looked pretty cool, and we've gotten newer trailers in quicker and quicker succession. So I think that is lining up with the estimated release date of this year. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk looks pretty cool.
That was on
It's
my
by
list. Yeah.
it's by some boys that have made some good games. And it oozes style, and I like that. Whether reviewers will, I mean,
We'll see.
probably not. I don't care.
Hopefully they do. No, they're probably missing out on some good games. No.
Yeah, seriously. Alrighty.
All right.
I was looking up when Hyper Light Breaker comes out, but that's next year, so we can't.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah,
far
it's
along.
not
Trust
coming
me, I would
out
have jumped on
anytime
that
soon.
shit.
I was like, that's
Or
probably
on
one of the
you.
first things. Yeah, that was probably going to be one of the first things that Brett looks up.
Now I have
Yeah.
2 picks. The question is, do I spend one of them on Hogwarts Legacy?
No.
That is the
First of all,
question.
on it
Right.
releasing this year. That's a question mark still.
Yeah.
It's a likely question mark, but it's a question mark.
Mhm.
Second of all, of it being good. I think that the answer to that remains to be seen after I pick
Yes.
the first game, because I think there's a couple of things on here I can be a little risky with and put some flavor picks in. And one of those is going to be a little game called DNF Duel.
Okay.
Now, DNF Duel, Dungeon Fighter Online, is a very popular MMO in many Asian countries. And it's getting a fighting game that I believe is developed, I should double check, but I believe is developed by Arc System Works, which has not put out a bad fighting game ever. So, hopefully, that game is good. The big question mark there, though, because I think
I hope so.
it's based on a property I have no knowledge of. So, we'll see. Now, looking at that second pick, though, we're running out of things here. There's a couple games that could be good. I think Hogwarts Legacy is the risky pick. The risk it for the biscuit. But I think there's 2 games on here that are picks of the heart.
I just know there's so many people that I know who are boycotting Hogwarts Legacy because of the relation to J.K. Rowling.
Which I understand. 100%.
Right.
Same time, I don't think that is going to solve the problem, and it's just hurting the developers of the game.
Yeah.
Which I think are pouring their heart and souls into it. However, I'm going to leave that as a pick for anyone else who wants it, because there's 2 other games here. And I'm going to, right now, say that if nobody picks Mario Strikers Battle League after I leave it here, you have bad taste in games and are forever banned from the games industry.
That was going to be my next pick, Ryan.
Well, it can still be your next pick, because I'm not taking it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking that game because I'm going to risk it for the biscuit for Live Alive.
Oh man.
Because I
wow.
want Live Alive to be good.
Are we counting that? Because that's a port and a thing.
Well, 'cause
I mean,
it's
a thing
new.
that
It's a
already exists as
remake.
Port. Okay.
Same reason that Advance Wars count. It's the same
Okay. Oh, that's
technical
true, yeah.
game, but it is a full remake with new things. It's like Demon Souls, the PS5 version still counted, despite it technically being the same game,
Yes,
because
it's the
enough
same
is
game.
different to tilt it over that edge.
Mhm.
And that's me done. So, Brett, you've got your last pick coming up.
And oh boy, what a last pick it will be.
Will it?
I mean, I think I consign myself to loss on probably my third choice of the evening, which is that.
Yeah, we'll let you know,
should
Brett.
spell out-
Trails does have a new game coming out this year.
It does. It does. And I have 2 minds of this. But I'm going to obliterate one of them right now and not even say what it was, because it was a stupid
Oh,
idea in the
no.
first place.
Bad.
No,
Bad
you
idea.
have to do it.
What I'm realizing is that, man, Star Ocean is such a cool idea,
Oh man.
but I haven't enjoyed a single Star Ocean game that I've played, even though they're cool ideas.
Didn't you like Second Story?
I think you said it was the best out of all of them.
I haven't played all of them yet. I've tried some of them, and I finished almost the entirety of one and got bored and stopped because it's an SNES game that isn't by
It's
Square.
aged.
So, and Star Ocean 2 decided to be really annoying towards the end, and I decided to play other games that I wanted to play more.
It's
But
unfortunate.
So I need to. Oh, never mind, because one of them's not coming out this year. But what is coming out this year? Ryan brought it up. Trails is getting a first-time official port of a game that was in Japan for a while. Trails from Zero and Trails Across the Sky. Oh my god, such a good game. So I'm hoping that people will like these characters that are all completely different and unrelated, as much as they did the other ones in this game that like 10 people on the planet, including Ryan and I, will play. So we'll find
Hey,
out.
you'll have 8 other people.
You're
Hopefully
right.
it gets enough reviews. I think is the big
Yep.
question mark with that one.
If the both of you review it, then yeah, you're halfway there.
Well, there you go.
Close enough.
But I have more faith in that than a Star Ocean game doing well in a modern reviewing environment, I think.
Now,
Yeah.
I did say for my next pick I was going to do Mario Strikers because I remember really enjoying the first game whenever I'd go over and play it with my friend. But there's another game that comes out in 4 days called Rogue Legacy 2, which has my eye because the first Rogue Legacy was quite good. From what I remember.
It's an interesting pick. I will say you might have to confirm if you can pick it. I don't know if that one's eligible because it's currently in early access.
It says I can select it.
Well, it says you can select it, you can select it.
But do I want to pick it over Strikers? That's the real question.
I will tell you this. I had about as much fun playing Rogue Legacy 2 as I did playing Rogue Legacy, which is significantly less fun than playing many other games that I've played recently.
Which is
whether or not
significantly less fun than you would have if you were playing I Am Jesus Christ.
Which
is why.
Or if you were playing
last
Deedlit Wonder Labyrinth, because Deedlit Wonder
that's just the
slaps.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers for tomorrow.
It's an interesting pick, interesting decision.
Yeah. Because I feel like
and we do have 8 more picks, so you can always, a game that is left.
But I feel like now that I've talked about
yoink
it
it
enough,
up.
The other one, the one that I don't pick, someone else is going to take, right?
You really think anyone here is going to pick Rogue Legacy 2?
Now that we've talked about it enough, someone's probably going to do it just to fuck
Actually,
with
I will say,
No.
Rogue Legacy 2, we will not be able to pick Rogue Legacy 2 because Saturday is the cutoff. So whenever we bid on a game, Saturday night is when the bids go through and the game gets picked. That game releases before next Saturday, so it is not eligible to be picked up after this. There's a couple of games like that, because April 28th is a big day for a lot of games.
That's true.
A lot of indie games are coming out on the 28th, so if you want something on the 28th, you got to grab it now, because they will not be eligible later. Decisions.
Yeah, I was very confident with the pick that I had going into this. Now I'm not so sure. Now I'm not so sure.
The last decision you have to make.
Yeah.
Of your life.
Yeah. That's what it feels
Please.
like. You know what?
Please.
I'm gonna go with Rogue Legacy 2. Not because I, think it's gonna be better than Strikers, although I guess that's technically.
And why? This is where I make you feel bad by telling you the new Stanley Parable is out on Tuesday.
Oh, I knew that.
No. It's a re-release, isn't it? Or it's a director's cut.
They've been working on that game for 4 years. There is no way that is just a re-release of Stanley Parable. I do not buy that for a single second.
I did see that when I was looking through my lists and stuff. It was in the back of
What's
my
it
head.
as a
but-
re-release or a remaster?
Oh, it is. Stanley Parable is a very meta game. I have 0% chance in my head that is a straight re-release. Otherwise, it would not. There is no way you delay a re-release of a recent game
Yeah.
if it's not
Yeah,
adding
yeah.
significant amounts of content. So it is an option. But Alex, you've also been left with Mario Strikers
Yeah,
as a potential
I have.
option.
I'm gonna throw you a bone because you've been having such a hard time tonight.
Stanley Parable, I will say, if you are able to pick it because of its classification, is certainly a game that is going to review well.
Yeah.
Zero doubt about that. I don't know if you've played the first one.
I haven't. I've watched so many people play through it.
Yeah, Stanley Parable is a critic darling, but
Yeah.
is it more of a
Um,
critic darling than Mario Strikers?
Yes.
The other thing I can guarantee you is Mario Strikers is 100% going to be bidded on if it's left open.
Oh, Wyatt, you picked though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
thanks
why
for
we were
going.
asking you, yes.
I was originally thinking, is the Shadowrun trilogy eligible?
I don't believe so, because it is a trilogy pack of already released games. It would have to be a remaster or something to be eligible.
And then the other one that I was thinking of that I might bid on later, now that you've mentioned Stanley Parable, but I'll just mention it now because I don't know why. I just wanted to shout it out because I like the title and I haven't had enough time to read through researching it. Anno Mutatonium.
Already
And
out.
Mutationum already out.
Oh, come on!
It'll look at the
Well,
dates.
then I guess I'm
Also,
doing Stanley
didn't
Parable.
review that well.
It
Oh.
didn't, unfortunately, yeah.
Oh.
It didn't review
people
bad,
seem to have-
but it did not review
yeah.
that well.
From what I understand, people seem to have problems with the story for whatever reason, which is a shame.
Oh.
I've
Yeah,
also,
those
this
have
is
been
how I
release
learned that a
dates.
new MX versus ATV game is coming
I'm
out next
looking at
month.
the release dates, Wyatt. The numbers are mixing around in my head, and I can't read them.
Too many numbers.
I'm dyslexic.
All the
But
numbers.
it's a lot of numbers going on all at once.
Draft
Yeah,
game.
interesting choices.
You did take God of War Ragnarok from me, which
I did. Look, I have to pick at least one thing that is a
It
pure
says-
safe bet.
It says the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is ineligible.
Okay, it's probably because it's listed as a re-release. I don't think that's
Crap.
going to be true, but it is ineligible at the moment. Though if you want it, I can change the rules so that you can grab it. That is very easy to do.
I'm not gonna get too mad at you, Ryan, because I did pick the only good free-to-play game here.
Hey, I mean, Path of
You
Exile
really
2
did.
will be good if it comes out. But whether or not it comes out is like 50-50
Well,
split.
actually, listen. We're all the free-to-play games are gonna be just completely dwarfed by Star Wars Hunters. It will be the best
Of course.
Of course.
Do you want Stanley Parable, Alex? Because I can change the thing to allow that to be eligible.
Oh.
So poor thing.
This has been a tough day for other reasons.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Right, select Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Allow game. You should be able to grab it now.
I have. Oh, wait, what?
You know what? We'll let that stand. It's in your
Why
free
is
to
that-
play.
Why is that free to play?
That's a great question. I didn't do that. All right. We're just gonna. You know what? We'll let
Stanley
Exomecha.
Parable with microtransactions.
We'll reset Exomecha's tag, so that way your list is good. That could be your
This-
free to play game, Alex.
God.
I wish there was anything in here but water.
Which means it's officially time for counter picks.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
And it is looped to me for counter pick, which means I'm sorry, Brett.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
Well,
Eat
Logan,
from
we-
me like the vultures in the
What
great
do you
American desert.
May the 4th be with you, but Star Wars Hunters is not. I have zero faith.
How could you?
It's not going to be a good video game.
Look, I don't want
No.
to counterpick any of your other games, but you willingly.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because I like all the other games, but Star Wars Hunters, that was a pick,
Oh,
Brett.
man.
God.
So I'm gonna lock you into that, and you have to deal with the consequences of your actions.
If that game was not a Star Wars game, you would not have picked it. I think that's
Oh,
the
probably
reality
not.
of
No,
the- that's
God.
the reality of the situation
But-
here.
But Brett,
I
it
mean,
is now
I
your
think-
counterpick.
The free to play category is hilarious as an inclusion. I
It's a sick joke.
it is truly. All right.
I think I know
What a
you
spread.
could do.
Remember,
I know
the
what you
best
might-
solution for a counterpick is a game does not come out, because that means you lose 0 points.
Yeah. I think we did a better time. We did at least I think we did a better job than last time of keeping our expectations of what is actually going to release more in line of possibility this time instead of just
Yeah.
going crazy. I hope that no one's list is going to end up with only one thing that actually comes out.
Because
that
we're a little
would be
further in
bad.
the year, which means that we have more confirmed release dates.
I do feel like mine is kind of on that tipping point though with some of these. Like I said with Advance Wars, that is entirely dependent on
Yeah, Advance
other-
Wars is a tipping point. Bayonetta 3, I also would be iffy on if it 100% comes out this year, just because of Platinum's recent
Yeah.
history. I think it's going to be a good game, but I do think there's a chance it gets delayed out of the year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things I'm in between right now.
Is
But-
Starfield going to be good?
I was just gonna say, I don't know. Bethesda
lock me in,
took
Brett?
a long time. Bethesda took a long time to make this. And Todd has said some things, but boy, has he said some things. So
you
It's
in
either
the
going to be a
interest-
6 out of 10 or it's going to be a 9.
yeah, in the interest
No
of him
middle-
completely lying, that's gonna be my first counter pick.
I'm locked in, baby. Starfield, we're in this together now.
See, I'm very proud of us. I don't think anyone picked Hogwarts Legacy. So
Yeah, no one picked it.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of us, of all of us.
And to be
Um,
honest, I don't know that I'm going to bid on it at all.
Yeah. I mean, I
One of
definitely
those
wasn't.
games, I feel like it's too much.
Yeah. Hmm. Like what Brett said, we've got quite a spread here.
Yeah.
Oh, and I do remember you asking Wyatt about concentrated alpaca. It's a joke about concerned ape, Stardew Valley does.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that would
Let's
be
see.
like a carefree alpaca.
Well, I
Well,
was just trying to keep the words similar. I was gonna do like frustrated
that's-
gorilla, but I figured that would be even harder to grasp. So
I don't know what Concerned Ape does, so I just hear that. Okay, that makes sense now. I
Concerned
don't
Ape is
know.
just the man that does Stardew Valley. That is
Oh,
Concerned Ape. It is a single person.
So, unless they've really changed their design since they've showed off the game, I am gonna have to counterpick Gotham Knights just because it seemed like there
Really?
was a lot of
That's an interesting pick.
yeah, just because I don't know if it's gonna have all of the things that uh the Arkham series fans really like. I saw a lot
That's
of
fair.
numbers. It doesn't have Batman in it for one, which I don't think is the worst issue in the world. But I saw a lot of numbers and I was getting concerned about level gated areas. I'm a little bit worried about how the story might pan out because for these Arkham games, the story is a pretty important aspect to a lot of people.
Gotta get it right.
Yeah. And it's been pushed. I feel like we've been hearing about it a lot, and it's been kind of circling in development for a good long while now. So,
It's in the deep development zone.
yeah, I think Gotham Knights, I've never really been super impressed with it personally. So, yeah.
Understandable. Alex, your first counter pick. What game do you think is going to be either bad or not release? A reminder for the way counterpicks work: if the game scores above a 70, it will deduct points from your score. if you've picked it.
Oh, that's on my list. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, you can pick any game.
I have
And
so
if you
many
don't,
tabs.
if you do not select a counter pick for your slot, you will just lose 15 points. So make sure to select them because it is far worse to not.
Make sure to select what now? Sorry, I was paying attention.
A counter pick.
Forspoken is the game that I was talking about with the scarves, right?
It's the one with the magic that Square
Yeah.
Enix is doing.
Holy crap, a dragon! Oh my god, a dragon! Wow, is that a dragon?
I'm gonna counterpick Forspoken. It looks cool,
Understandable.
but that's about it.
Yeah, that's a fair pick.
And I imagine even if that game is good, I see like an upper limit of an 8 on that score.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's a singing 8 to me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have issues with the writing. I want to hear all of the writing in context.
And you get one more counter pick as well, I believe, Alex.
Oh.
Because it will swap around.
What's the other thing?
So just go for things that may not release. Advance Wars, big question mark on if that comes out. Valkyrie Elysium.
That's
big
what I was
question
thinking.
Mark
That's
in general.
I'll go with Valkyrie Elysium.
Brett has that smile on.
Good choice. That was probably a safe one.
I'm gonna predict Valkyrie Elysium's gonna give a 73. That's my official prediction for Valkyrie Elysium.
I am going to lose.
Intelligent choice.
Well, 73 is good for a counter pick because I mean you're only gonna lose like 1 point if it's a 73.
The problem with a lot of these games that you guys picked is I just don't really know anything about them. Like I can't really judge them based on like previous entries or from their studio.
That's the goal.
Or something like that.
It's a race to the bottom.
I'm already there.
You got some good picks though. Splatoon is gonna be an instant 9 out of 10.
That's
Very
gonna
easily.
That's gonna be the carry.
Stanley Parable is, assuming it gets reviews, which I'm betting it will, is going to be a shoo-in.
I realize I'm leaning a lot on Nintendo for my list, just because
they're easy to lean on.
They tend to be a safe bet, you know. Let's see here.
That second counter pick. What you thinking, Alex?
I know. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Alex.
Oh, I said
second.
I said it, didn't I? Valkyrie.
Yeah, you need to confirm it in.
Pick it.
Oh, crap.
What have you been doing this whole time?
I don't know.
How many times have we done this?
Well, now you have to repick your first one also.
I was like, it wasn't updating.
I did. Oh, God.
You just pick it the same way you pick the games. It'll be a little list that you can scroll through.
Oh, God.
This one's easier because it's only a list of games that exist. Here.
I love you, Alex.
Draft counter pick. Okay. Oh, God, what was the other one that I counterpicked?
No, it was yours.
Valkyrie.
Forspoken.
Yeah.
Forspoken.
I probably shouldn't have said anything to not remind you, but it's okay.
Well, I was gonna remind him as well. So you're not. It doesn't do anything to you, Wyatt. Counterpicks only affect yourself.
Right,
although they do have the effect
right.
of they do make it so you can no longer drop a counterpicked game.
Right.
So, for example, now that Starfield has been dropped, I can no longer drop it.
Which is horrifying for you.
Look, I have a feeling we're gonna know about 3 months before Starfield comes out if it's gonna be good or not. That's my prediction, and there's a chance it just doesn't look good, and I'm gonna lose a lot of points in that game. But
I really hope you don't, but I have no faith in it.
There's also a chance it looks good, and I'm gonna get probably like 5 points, and I'll be happy with that. So Wyatt, what's your second counter pick now?
My next counter pick. It's a combination of questionable review score and questioning whether it's going to come out. Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Really?
Yes.
I hope you know that it is confirmed to come out.
It's
earlier
confirmed to come
than it was
out.
Previously announced
got
to come out.
reverse delayed.
And
Yeah.
Then
And I
you
will
know
also
what?
confirm every Xenoblade game has reviewed pretty well.
And you know what? I think I'm thinking of a different franchise.
You said that. I was like,
Probably.
because you were like, watching review score, and I'm like, wait a minute, Xenoblade?
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of a different franchise. Hold on. I need to reevaluate things now.
You said that. I'm like, I don't want to. Look, hey, if you want to counterpick Xenoblade and lose yourself some points, I'm all for
Well, I
it.
don't more because I'm thinking of a different.
You might be thinking of Star Ocean, because we were talking about Star Ocean. And that is the
Maybe.
JRPG franchise that is kind of like artistically similar to Xenoblade,
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
and usually a lot worse.
And worse.
Same, but different.
Got the question, I'll still throw it out there. Path of Exile 2. No clue if that's going to release this year.
That's kind of what I was leaning into.
All Elite Wrestling in the game, as much as I want that to release this year, still don't know if it's going to release this year.
Yeah, it still might
I
not.
feel like all of
Same
well,
with Stray.
it's very biased. All wrestling games I've heard from you guys have been pretty good.
That's not.
Yeah,
true.
but pretty good for a wrestling game is like a
was that?
7.5.
What was
Yeah.
that one WWE game that came out that was so hilariously buggy? Came out like a couple years
Oh,
ago.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
How
not
was
good.
2020 a couple years ago?
Well, because they released it the year before.
Yeah.
So it actually released in 2019.
What did I say I was going
God,
to
I
do? Path
feel
of Exile
old.
2, right?
Anyway, Path of Exile 2, there's a few other options. You're limiting.
I feel like you're kind of baiting me into it now. That's the thing.
Well, hey, I'll
Playing
say
mind
Path of
games
Exile
with me right
2,
now?
if it does come out, will probably be good.
Yeah.
Because they've been making ARPGs for like 8 years at this point and know what they're doing. So that's the risk you take.
Yeah.
That is also the risk with every other game here, though, because I think we're out of the territory of bad games being on the list, unless like God of War Ragnarok is somehow absolute trash.
I just
You
feel
know
like
what? They
I just feel like there's no
reused
way.
they
just feel-
reused that boat entering animation. Garbage.
Garbo.
10 out of 100.
Wait a minute. Exo
Not
Mecha.
playable.
Hold on. That's that game where they came out with the trailer and it was really bad.
I thought the trailer
like-
looked pretty cool.
Well, no,
And
it's
bad
like
at the same time, but pretty cool.
all the sound design for that trailer was like just the worst thing. It was like two robots that were stabbing each other with swords, and it sounded like
Quack.
just a little like. See, I feel like counterpicking is harder than.
Oh, it is. 100%.
Absolutely.
That's why it made us have to have 4 counterpicks this time.
Oh god.
The other 2 you don't have to pick now. You can pick them whenever you want. But these first 2 we have to pick now. Out of this list.
Yeah.
The whole quarter of the games that we have picked today have to be counterpicked.
Oh god, I just watched the Exomecha official gameplay trailer, and
You see what I'm saying?
It's not. But I swear to God, I thought it was the default Unity man running across the screen.
No,
I haven't
this
seen the
first
gameplay trailer.
Oh
I
my
saw
God.
the reveal trailer and I thought it looked pretty okay. But
Well, I was like, the gameplay looks okay, but like, what's going on with the sound? You know, that's what I was kind of wondering.
it's gonna be what?
And the gun sound seems pretty good.
Just wait until the robots come in.
Can always
tough.
counterpick yourself if you don't think Redfall's gonna release.
Oh.
Can you? You can counterpick yourself?
Maybe. I don't think anyone's tried to.
Why?
We'll
Why would
find
you
out.
wait? Why would you want to do that though?
I don't know. Maybe someone changes your mind midway through, and you're like, "Oh, that game's not gonna come out, or it's gonna be bad," and I can't.
A net
drop it,
zero
so.
is better than a net loss.
I'm
Yeah.
looking more through the trailer, and some of it seems like really fun. Like there's a lot of vehicle hopping, grappling, hooking action, and then there's like a stealth kill with a grenade where you poke someone on the
I
back.
don't know how
That's
I
funny.
missed this.
They turn around, you stick the grenade on them, and you kick them away. but with them kicking away, it's them static in an A pose flying into the air.
Incredible.
Just a lot of the sound design just seems really. It should have like a chunkier, like heavy feel to it, and it just kind of doesn't. It's a little like. Also, I just don't like the design of any of the like machines either. By the way, I counterpicked Path of Exile.
This is for people who want to play Crisis, but their PC can't run it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Brett.
happy I picked this. Thank you for helping me with that choice.
You can ride on missiles, which looks kind of fun.
I'm gonna say it. Red Falls looks stupid from the start. I don't know.
Fair.
And it might not even come out, and B, it might not even be that great when it does.
Fair.
Because we know nothing, and we're over a third of the way through the year, and like I said, I ain't caring in the first place. Now,
That's fair.
Sound reasoning.
It's an all right line of thought to have.
Yeah.
It means you're leaving me in a difficult position now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Do I pick Exomecha? I don't want to, because I want to think that game's going to be good. But my second most popular option, I think, is Advance Wars.
Oh.
Which is truly a coin toss.
Which, if that comes out, it's probably going to be pretty good.
Exactly. That's the giant question mark.
It's probably going to be really good.
Or, I think I do have one other option. As loath as I am to hedge my bets, because I think Dark Tide looks like a good game. I think Dark Tide has a review ceiling of an 8.
Interesting.
And Advance Wars, to me, has a review ceiling of a 9. And maybe that small difference could be the determining factor here. Because I think
was going to kick you in the nuts if you counterpick Advance Wars, so that's probably for the best.
Well, because I love Advance Wars. Advance Wars is a game I also very much like. But I'm not confident it's going to come out this year. Yeah. There's a small part of me that wants to counterpick Gundam Evolution.
Out of just pure hatred. I've managed to hold back this whole time. You can too. You're stronger than me. I know you can hold back.
There's a small part of me that just wants to do it.
I'm going to say this right now. Even if I'm at the absolute bottom by the end of next year and we look at the results, even if I'm at the absolute bottom, it's going to feel like a win for me.
You have to ask. I think the question I have to ask is, what game am I okay losing to? It being the reason that I lose. And I think, unfortunately, that game is All Elite Wrestling.
Man. Zam.
If a game is going to make me lose, I'm okay with it being All Elite Wrestling. I'm not okay with it being Advance Wars. All right, we have our final pick list. The first upcoming releases, Rogue Legacy, Stanley Parable, and Nintendo Switch Sports coming next week. It's going to be interesting to see. I think this time we'll try and keep up a little bit more with updates to this list over the course of the podcast for this year. That way, mainly as a way to ensure everybody is picking up games and counterpicking additional things.
I will be floundering just as much with the additional bids.
I do want to...
it is very easy to do once you do it. There's a little make a bait button that you can just press.
I do feel, in hindsight, I do feel really bad for not updating it more over last year.
Well, now you have the opportunity.
I'm so happy I have to involve Jar Jar.
I'm just going to quietly, while you all are doing this, type in a little number here, and I think that's going to be good.
Okay.
A little number.
It's a little number.
It's fine.
A little number. Just a little.
A little number.
A little ominous.
Check out this little number.
A little number for when bids get revealed. Will be in 3 days, and you can then see what that little number is.
Okay.
But there's There's one other game that kind of slid by that I don't think should have slid by. So I'm gonna just
Why would
put
you
a
think
little
that
bit
Mario
into that.
Strikers?
Why would I think that Mario Strikers?
That's just really weird of you that you would think that Mario Strikers. I think we got almost everything Mario Strikers. That's really weird.
Everything Mario Strikers. The question is, does anyone else Mario Strikers enough about Mario Strikers to bid on Mario Strikers more than what I just did? So,
Ryan,
we'll
Ryan, I
see.
think you got a little Mario Strikers right here.
Ryan, I think your joke just struck out.
Oh, is that a little Wyatt?
Mario Strikers.
Wyatt, Mario Strikers is a soccer game. You uneducated amoeba of a person.
You are the largest single-celled organism.
Single
on this
cell,
planet.
single cell, single cell.
That better be a chant than
single
an AW game. Single cell. On that note, we've gone through the whole list. We've fulfilled our quota of games to be picked up. I hope everyone is at least somewhat happy with the list that they've come out with. The counter picks are
Only a
spread a
little
lot
bit.
more evenly this time than they were last time.
They were weighted really heavily.
You know
last
what?
time in hindsight.
I have a new, like, this game doesn't exist, but by God, I think it should. A Mario wrestling game
Oh,
partnered with
absolutely.
AEW.
Funny that you say that.
What?
It's funny that you say that because originally the people who worked on Strikers, their next project was going to be a Mario wrestling game.
Should have done it. 10 out of 10.
I believe it was going to be called Mario Spikers, and then it development whatever, and it never
I
came out.
want Mario and Luigi to be the canon Lucha Brothers. Is that too much to ask for?
That's the next Mario and Luigi RPG game, is Mario and Luigi Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
They got to journey across the world to become the best luchadors there ever were.
And I want them to tag team the Young Bucks,
Even though they're
being
Italian.
being played by Toad and Toadette.
Incredible.
Why?
Because it's a video game and anything is possible.
You're right.
Well, all right. We've confirmed our list. I think people have had enough time to see what all the games are. We'll update this as the year chugs along. Get it? Because the Chugs is a all elite wrestling person who plays video games.
I didn't get
Yeah,
it.
and I knew you wouldn't get that. Uncultured amoeba.
all the jokes are for me, Wyatt. Just don't even
Yeah,
even worry
this is
about
the
it.
Brett
It's-
jokes episode.
I feel really excluded.
They go over your head. You can't see me. I'm running behind you to catch all of them, and only sometimes does it work.
Yeah,
On that
the green
note-
screen is actually
Oh, go ahead, Alex. You can make your joke.
the green screen is actually Brett disguising the fact that he is inside Wyatt's closet right now.
I'm in your walls. It's true.
He is behind the soundboards, sound panels. You've actually just nailed Brett into there.
Brett, we're gonna high five. Ready? We're gonna high five. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God! Wow.
Beautiful.
Like a wonderful high five. Now that we've confused all of the audio listeners, if you were listening to this entire episode, just know there was video to go along with the entire thing.
You can now watch the whole thing again if you want
Now
to.
go watch the whole thing again. Although we did narrate everything, so you should be fine. But on that note, it's shoutouts time. Is this the time of the podcast where we just shout out something cool? Something that,
Ready to
that was
go.
good.
I
I've got
have a
one-
shout out. Oh,
Alex.
I got one.
Wyatt.
You normally do not go first, so I'm gonna say you get to go first this time.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Calm
Whatever.
down, Speedy McSpeed over there.
One
Calm down,
of,
Lightning McQueen.
Ka-chow. One of the
Pachiga.
I've had a relatively crap day for other reasons, but one of the good things that happened was I started a new role-playing game with some friends in the Delta Green system, which is a Cthulhu-esque cosmic horror setting, and I it's so good I got goosebumps 5 times in the opening session, and I'm pretty sure I might already be dead.
Okay,
Fine.
that sounds about right.
That's very cool. All right, Lightning McQueen. It's your turn.
I can't decide between two, so I'm just gonna say both really quickly. One of them is the main theme for Star Wars Republic Commando because it's amazing, and if you've never heard that song before, the one that just plays in the main menu, it's fantastic. And then the second one is a shout out to Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 and the amazing FMV cutscenes because they are adorable and I love them. And they are the cheesiest, corniest thing I've ever seen, and I love all of them.
All right. So we're going to talk about what my shout out would have gone to tomorrow. Spoilers, it's D-Lit and Wonder Labyrinth. But because we're going to talk about that tomorrow, and that episode will be going up soon. Instead, I got to give a shout out to that one episode of Star Wars Rebels that Wyatt and I watched yesterday, where the cello and the violin just started going so hard in that score to it. It was just all of a sudden completely different musical environment, incredibly good theme, super cool environments. It was a very fun episode of Rebels.
And it came out of nowhere too, because the score for that show in general isn't bad, but it just kind of exists.
It's not memorable.
It's not memorable, and then that kicks in.
And you're just like,
and it's like 15 out of 10. It's amazing.
Instantly, I'm like, what's going on? I'm in.
Yeah.
On that note, podcast's over. As always, catch us Tuesday morning.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Excuse me,
Brett,
Mr. Single Cell. All right.
Look,
Get out of here.
I'm gonna take that. See, this is what happened last time. Normally, I tend to finish out the show, but this time I was ready to go with one beforehand. And so, on that note, the podcast is over.
God, I hate it here. I'm leaving. My contract ends with the last Gamecast episode that I'm doing tomorrow, and that's it. I'm booking it. I'm starting 002 radio by myself. None of you are invited. That's
and then
it.
You'll return a couple years later under a probably worse contract.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh god, it's gonna be like the Cleveland show.
Yes, just like the Cleveland show.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brett.
Oh my god. All right. Well, speaking of 15 out of 10s, The Northman is a movie that everybody should go see if they're of viewing age now, because it's very good and very gory. If you like seeing Viking guts, you'll love it. There's
but
the
Brett,
pitch.
What about Viking
do I
abs?
have a movie for you.
And Viking abs, and Viking ass, and everything in between. Don't
Excellent.
you worry, it's there.
Let's go.
Everything
Let's
between
go.
abs and ass?
That's all of it.
Including that of Willem Dafoe. What more could you possibly want?
Oh, I tell you what. Tell you what.
Yes, he is.
I cannot wait to see Willem Dafoe's penis again. I hear that thing is massive.
I just love everyone skirting
On
around
that line. Can we just end on that line, please? No outro.
No,
Just
the
end on
outro.
that line.
The outro has to play because I have to say the podcast Tuesday morning 7 a.m. Eastern Time on the podcast platform of your choice. That's it. That's the show. We did it. There's gonna be a games club real
Listeners,
soon.
Audio people, if you could only see Brett's face right now, and that you can't see it because it's covered by his hand.